Okay, gents, let's now switch gears and focus on a massive game in the Premier League this weekend. Liverpool against Manchester United at Anfield. I'm scratching my head here, Nick, to think about who should be the favourites heading into this game because there's so much swirling storylines. For Liverpool, defensively, they got better. Man United have got great momentum. Liverpool usually have Man United's number in recent seasons, but that changed at the start of the season. So it's always a massive game. Feels particularly huge for both these teams in the context of their season. So for you, who do you think deserves the favourite tag heading into this game between these bitter rivals at Anfield?
Oh, my God. The good questions for me always. No, Liverpool, I think, because they're at Anfield. And United has just played 3 elimination games in 7 days. I thought West Ham were going to take, I think we all kind of agreed that West Ham was the slippery point. And it looked for a while, maybe the whole game, besides the actual goal total, like United was a little behind. I think this is just asking a lot. Liverpool is going to feel especially with Van Dijk scoring and Salah scoring, both talisman-like players. Wolves have been very good defensively, or better defensively, I should say, for their standards. I think that was an impressive win too. So I'm going to give it to Liverpool on home ground. But I will say this, it is really, really exciting to actually give a you-know-what about this game, this fixture again. Because for a bunch of years, it was, well, Liverpool will probably win. And for a lot of years before that, it was, well, Man United will probably win. And who knows what's going to happen this weekend.
You're right. Yeah, it's a great rivalry, obviously, and the fans, the passion, everything. But you're right. It's just been so topsy-turvy between these teams that we haven't really had them both in the title race, or there's been a few seasons when they've been locked in, the top 4 battles and all the rest of it. But this feels like high stakes right now in terms of where they're at in the rest of their seasons. I mean, Liverpool, Andy, we watched them closely the last few weeks. Are they back on track? Because they obviously had that capitulation against Real Madrid when they were hammered, but 3 wins from last 4 in the Premier League, 4 shutouts in a row, and all of a sudden, they're just 6 points off the top 4 with a game in hand as well. So we kind of felt like this was going to happen, right? I think we talked about this at the end of January. It felt like as long as they figured things out at the back, which they seem to have done after that defeat against Wolves, then they've got a chance. And Salah, Gakpo, Nunez, they're all popping up with big goals at different moments, looking better as a trio. But you never know what you're going to get with Liverpool right now. In the famous words, Forrest Gump didn't quite say it like that, but
it's my eyes are telling me something completely different than everything on paper says, because I've watched, I think, their last 5 or 6 games across all competitions, and the performance is just not there. And what is the old saying? You live long enough to see your heroes become a villain. I don't think Jurgen Klopp has quite become a villain as of yet, but I think his football has, though, because it's boring, it's unexciting, it's very un-Liverpool, it is very un-Klopp as well, and there is just there's not a sense of dominance about this team the way that there has been. They don't overwhelm teams in the way that they have in seasons past, and maybe that's something that I need to look past and realize that they're evolving and becoming something new. They're a very solid defensive team right now, Real Madrid aside, against this level of competition, kind of a lot of the bottom half teams in the Premier League, 4 straight clean sheets. That's a nice accomplishment. But at the same time, we're talking about Manchester United this weekend now, and that is the form that they're in, and we've talked about them a lot this week already. That's another massive step up, not quite to the Real Madrid level, but fairly close at the moment. And so I don't know. It feels like United have more of that control, of that dominance, of that the flair and self-belief that comes from being not just in form, but every time they get inside the penalty area, it feels like United think they're going to score. It does not feel like that with Liverpool. And so I'm just trying to marry the head and the heart right now and figure out what is this Liverpool team. And honestly, the more that I watch them, the less I know about them.
You know what? In a word, brittle. I think if Man United were to score early, then you could see the confidence really draining from this Liverpool team. But right now, they're keeping themselves in games just about, whether that's no disrespect, but the lack of quality of opponents that they've been facing compared to Real Madrid, who took all their chances they had, or compared to Man United, who looked like they're going to destroy teams right now, they give them the opportunity to do so. So that's the key for me here. Just stay in the game. Yes, like you said, it's more boring. It's not the high pressing, but I actually like that Liverpool have done that because it's Klopp saying, hold my hands up. He mentioned it recently. He said this is not going to be a season they're going to make movies about or all the rest of it. But they kind of did this, right? When the one season when Alisson came up and scored the late header against West Brom and they just snuck into the top 4 and had that incredible late surge. They just went back to basics. They know that they can stay in games. They're going to have Salah this season. Nunez and Gakpo are getting up to speed. They're gonna score goals. And I think Salah coming back into some kind of form is the reason why they've gotten close to the top 4. And I think for him, maybe was missing Mane, Firmino at the start of the season, with him going in and out of the team. And it was new for Salah to figure out how do I interact with all these new players around me in an attacking area? It's been a certain way for a long, long time. But that said, Nick, when it comes to Manchester United, this is a different challenge, like Andy mentioned there. They are off the back of winning the League Cup, clicking through the gears ominously in all their competitions. And they already beat Liverpool this season at Old Trafford in a very impressive win way back at the start of the campaign. So for United, what are your expectations for the rest of the season? And who are their key men? Because we know Rashford and Fernandes are scoring the goals and assisting, but it seems to me like Casemiro is just the heartbeat of this team. And when he's in there, United have the balance and everything is much better about them. So I'm really looking forward to him and that midfield battle this weekend.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's interesting to me looking over the numbers for Liverpool that as much as I want to say all that about Man United, there's no way to explain Liverpool's performances in the fact that they're still putting up XG. They just lost Thiago for 4 games and took all but 2 points. Like, they're the weirdest team on earth. And so what I want to tell you, going back to Man United, is that regardless of how many games they played, they have Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, even guys who are staying relatively fresh like McTominay. They have Rafael Varane has won everything in the game. David De Gea has won. Actually, he's won everything in the game. They have everybody, and they should win. And yet I won't feel that way because, like you said, life is like a box of Clopulets, and you never know what you're going to get. It just came to me. I know.
I feel like this is a regular segment now. I'm just seeing the graphics team whipping up a box of chocolates and us picking ones of Liverpool, Man United badges on. We'll get working on that. Okay, score predictions wise, Andy, what are you going with, mate? Because this is a hard one to call, isn't it? As we said, a lot of factors swirling, but yeah, I'm going to wait for you to have your score prediction because I really don't know.
Thanks for that, Joe.
Yeah,
4-3. Honestly, I think this is. But Nick made the point. United going to be a little bit tired. I think there's going to be a little bit more there for Liverpool to take in this game. But I don't know. The eyes tell me that the confidence and belief that exists at United just matters. It matters right now, and especially at this time of the season where the results matter a little bit more because you're really table watching, and every goal and every point matters. So I think it goes 4-3 United, and maybe it's left really, really late on, but I do think it's going to be an incredible game because there's a bit of desperation. There's a lot of desperation from Liverpool, and I think there's even a little bit for United to kind of prove that they are among our Arsenal, Man City, and also just prove, hey, we are Manchester United again.
Yeah, I agree with that. Nick, you're going to top the 4-3 scoreline because it's a good point, right? The chaos, it's been cagey, and one team has been clearly better than the other in these recent games here. But I think both teams will fancy their chances of winning this. And in terms of Liverpool being at home, maybe that'll give them that extra confidence, like against Real Madrid when they came out and left a lot of gaps. So they may play slightly differently than they have been in recent games. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, watching that Liverpool game, I think it was last weekend, because it wasn't the midweek lineup, but they had Milner, Keita, and Henderson out there, and it almost felt like the testimonial you'll watch 6 years from now. Like this is where they're at. Milner's a legend, Henderson's a legend, but like at this point in their careers, if you're starting them and expecting to win a Premier League game, so all I want is for this game to be one of those games where it's the final half hour, and as good as our announcing crews are, you're listening to the crowd because both sides think they can get it. Yeah. I'm actually just going to go with 1-1 on the game, and Klopp will blame it on Lieutenant Dan.
Wow, I'm going to go 2-2. I'm kind of in between you guys. I think there are going to be a lot of goals in this one, but I think the combination there of Man United having a really big week and a lot of knockout games, and then Liverpool being a little bit better at the back and a bit more clinical going forward, I think a draw will be good, and both teams will probably be like, okay, I'm happy enough with that. We kept our fans happy. Bragging rights are shared, at least for that game. And then they can go on a charge towards the end of the season in their respective battles. But, wow, I can't wait for this one. Head over to Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com for all the latest how to watch information, preview, analysis, live reaction during the game, and much more. It's going to be an absolute belter at Anfield. Liverpool against Man United, both teams battling for big things at the end of the season. Let's see who comes out on top. What a game we have in store for us.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.